Hi everyone that's not in here but will be watching later on YouTube. Hi. Yeah. For those of you that do watch my TikToks, you will be seeing a lot of me over the next like week and a half because I have to over record. Mostly it's going to be on Wednesdays. Because I can only do so many in the morning before my kid wakes up. My kid starts school tomorrow. Yay. But I also have a wedding coming up, and I will have people here for like 10 days. So roughly I think just under that 10 days. I think it's 9 days. And so I will not be able to record during that time, but I'm still going to put out content. I'm a little stressed. So we will still have content. It's just, I will be going live a lot on YouTube because I'm going to have to do them individually because it's just easier for me recording wise to have like a smaller snippet to edit. So let's get comfortable here and we're going to get started. Maybe we'll see. All right. We are doing Mom Mondays today. Mom Mondays. I usually do a Fright Day, but I forgot to go look for stories. So we're doing Mom Monday. And then I can't talk. Those who know me is used to that. All right. Let me get everything over here situated. La la la. All right. And here we go. I started that too soon. Delete. Alright, here we go. Hey everyone! Welcome to another episode of Phoenix Reads. Today is Mom Monday, and we'll be doing a series of questions and rants from an anonymous Facebook mom page. As usual, there will not be any usernames as this page is all anonymous and public. If you have a parental question or rant you'd like my opinion on, feel free to contact me via any of my social media in the description. You will always remain anonymous unless you tell me otherwise. I'll see y'all right after this ad. Is it this one? You know, you'd think with how many times I've done this, I would remember what song goes to my intro, what song goes to certain types of episodes, but I don't. And you know what? I've come to the conclusion that I probably never will remember. Maybe someday, but today is not that day. And tomorrow doesn't look good either, if I'm being honest. I can't even remember what episode I'm on, so I don't think that bodes well for anybody else. Or at least for anything else when it comes to the idea of saving or knowing. I didn't write down. Of course I didn't. Why would I have done that? 5, 7. So that's 6, so this is 7. Okie day. We're just gonna let that process. Yeah, we're just gonna let that process. Not like that, you know. Not like doing that has screwed me over or anything in the past. Why would I be worried about that? Just a little bit. Right. Welcome. Please feel free, sit down, hang out for a bit. We're about to get started with the main birth of everything else. All right, and we are going to go ahead and just roll right into this. So the first question is, how can my friend convince her husband to have another baby? You can't, because that's not an okay thing to do. If they don't want to have another kid, they should not be having another kid. Like, this has to be, it's a two for one deal. You can't just, one just can't choose to have another baby and the other one just be like, oh, whatever. Like, no, you both have to be on board for that. That is another 18-year commitment. A friend asked me to post this on her behalf. She has a 1-year-old son with her husband, and she wants another baby ASAP because her husband is significantly older, but he said no. He's already got 3 kids. He has a boy and a girl with his ex-wife, who are both teenagers, and he feels like he's getting too old. She's devastated because she only has one, and she wants to be able to have another one. Their son wasn't planned. He wasn't thrilled at first, but he came around, and he's a really good dad. Him and his ex have joint custody of his older 2 kids. She says he doesn't understand why she wants another baby. He doesn't want just one kid. She feels like he's being selfish. What can she do to get him to see things from her point of view and help change his mind and let her have a second baby? So first off, I do know that this is kind of a regular issue when it comes to like couples that have a different age group or have like a large age gap. This is something that you guys probably should have brought up before, like, kind of doing the deed and screwing around, and to the point that might lead to pregnancy. Because this doesn't sound like it's, like, a sudden, like, oh shit, I didn't know you didn't want to have kids type of thing. Like, obviously he wasn't thrilled about the idea of having the one that they just had together, so why would he want to have another one? Like, I completely understand. Like, my kid is 6. My husband technically has 3 kids. Biologically, I have 1. And when I was pregnant with our son, I was like, you know what? I'm like, we're not having any more, like, after this. Like, we're done. No more kids. No more babies. We're done. And I've gone back and forth about that over the last 6 years, but I have never gotten to the point where I'm just like, you know what? Yes, we're going to have another baby. Let's start trying. No. I've said, and I stand by this, if fate wants me to have another child, they will let me win the lottery. Like, a big lottery. Like, I'm talking about, like, that Mega Millions that was just going on, like, a couple weeks back when it was up to, like, $1 billion or something like that. Like, you let me win that lottery. You let me be set for life. And then I'll think about having another kid. But as of right now, no. Because the way I look at it is I am on the cusp of my child having, like, sleepovers and, being more self-sufficient, going over to grandma and grandpa's. And it's like, I'm good. I'm on the cusp of being able to go out and enjoy myself without having to worry about, like, whether my kid's waking up in the middle of the night and can't get back to sleep and I need to come get him and it's, 2 a.m. and I'm already drunk as shit and can't drive. So, yeah, I am on that cusp, I feel, of being able to kind of be a full-fledged adult again, like, that doesn't just revolve around me being a mom, which most of my life revolves around being a mom. And there's nothing wrong with that if, your life does. But for me, I would like to be able to go out and, because me and my husband got pregnant and had our son early on in our relationship. Well, our second relationship, because we dated twice. And I feel like we missed out on a lot of stuff that, like, when you first start dating, like going out and having a lot of fun together, like, I missed out on some of that. And I never got to do it in my early 20s because I was dating a guy who was not great and didn't want to do stuff like that. He was a homebody, but it was, we don't have any money because I spent all of your money because I was the one that worked full time through, like, during the 4 years, like, maybe, like, 95% of the relationship, I was the one that had a full-time job. Yeah. And it was, oh, well, we went out to eat, or we went to, I bought video games. Like, that was, like, a big thing. So it's not right that you're trying to help her change his mind. he has 3 kids. If having more than 1 kid is such a big thing in her relationship, 1, she probably shouldn't have dated somebody that much older than her. Given we don't really have, like, a thing. But if you're dating somebody that already has teenagers, chances are they don't exactly want to have another kid. And 2, if you're going to be serious with somebody, this kind of needs to be a thing that needs to be talked about before you start having kids. Because that's just unfair to everybody involved. That's unfair to the kids. That's unfair to both parents. Like, I can understand wanting to have more than 1 kid and then being stuck with just 1 kid with your significant other because they don't want to have another one. Like, that sucks. But at the same time, it's also not fair for you to be trying to push having another kid onto this guy who already has 3. In total, including the new one, obviously. All right, on to the next one. My sister sold all of the baby items I gave her. Advice? So, I gifted my sister all of my son's old baby items because I know she struggles and she just found out she was pregnant. So I let her have his crib, changing table, dresser, and all of his clothes and a few other things. A week later, I found out every single thing I gave her on our yard sale site, or I gave her on our yard sale site. So I'm assuming, like, their community has a yard sale site. So I called her and I told her I wanted everything back, but she told me it was hers, and I gave it to her so she could do with it as she pleased, and she wanted new things for baby and hung up on me. She hasn't talked to me since, and I am so salty that she did that. Is it petty, or is it shitty to get something from a family member or just for free to, like, turn around and sell it because, you know, you want new? Like, not saying that it's not good, it's just that you want new or you want to choose. Yes. If you take her to court and try to get her to, you know, like, or like get them to pay you back or to give it back, honestly, the judge is probably just going to laugh at you and be like, it was considered a gift. Like, especially if she has, you know, like, receipts, like text messages saying, like, oh no, it's a gift. Like, I can do with it what I want. He's going to tell her that, or he's going to tell you that she's right. Like, it's shitty, but at the same time, it's, like, you gave somebody a gift, it's considered a gift. You can't, like, give somebody a gift and then see that they're selling it and then be like, well, I want it back. It's like, I think it also depends on where you are. But at the same time, yeah, I don't know. It's not okay. It is kind of a shitty thing to do, but at the same time, you gave it to her as a gift. Gifts don't necessarily have, like, a specific, like, you can't put specifications on a gift and be like, you can have this only if you use it. Like, you can't give it to somebody and then just be like, oh, here's this. Like, you can do whatever you want with it when it's a gift. Like, you can't, like, give somebody this and be like, you can only keep this if you actually use it. Like, don't turn around and sell it. Like, gifts shouldn't usually come with, like, specifications of how you have to use them. So, I don't know. I mean, it sucks, but at the same time, like, you gave it to her, it's kind of hers to do with it. There's kind of really nothing else that you can do. All right, we're going on to the next one, and this one is kind of we all know on Mom Mondays, I get very heated on some of these questions and some of these rants, and I really believe this is going to be one of those ones that I'm gonna get heated, y'all. There's gonna be a rant involved. I can just tell. Am I in the wrong for setting boundaries? No. You are never in the wrong for setting boundaries. Can your boundaries be fucked up? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. But I digress. Let's read on and let's see how heated I get about this. New mama here. just turned 20. My boyfriend is away in the military, living in my own house with little one and working 5 days a week, with only my mother being able to help me with babysitting. Does this have to do with your mom? So my boyfriend, son's father, family lives an hour and a half away. Recently, his mom has begun... Oh, this is a mother-in-law problem. I would just like to reiterate to everybody who is a new listener and who might be in the live that doesn't watch anything or listen to anything after the fact, these hands are rated E for everyone. Every single time. You will catch these hands. Recently, his mom has begun messaging him saying how it is unfair to them that they don't get to see the baby. Meanwhile, no one has texted to check up on him or has even tried to FaceTime him. When my boyfriend tells her that I have my hands full and that I don't feel comfortable with my baby staying down there with them without his father there, for reasons my boyfriend understands, she comes back with, "You should have had a baby to someone who cares about your family seeing him. It's not an option for us to go down there, and it is not feasible for our family. It's not normal for a mom to not be okay with their child staying away from them, or saying to my boyfriend, 'Why would you be okay with this knowing your family wouldn't agree?' And even calling me an indecent mother. The reason she has for saying that, I have no clue other than feeling like she/they are all feel entitled to my baby when no effort is put in whatsoever. Disclaimer. My boyfriend has stood up for me to an extent when she says this, but it is his family and he's afraid to really tell them how he feels because he doesn't want to push them away. At this point, it hurts to feel like they don't care enough to check in on him or make him a priority when they have time for everything and everyone else, plus travel, 3+ hours for other things or people. I know my baby does not deserve that, and I am to the point where if they want to be in his life, they will be, and if they aren't, it's their choice. Therefore, I refuse to drive him down there because my baby deserves to be prioritized. And I do not deserve to be made to feel like shit for setting boundaries and expecting that out of people. Am I wrong? No, you are not wrong. Like I said, boundaries are fine. We love boundaries. We love boundaries here. Boundaries are important in every aspect of life, whether it be friendship, relationships, just interactions with coworkers. Like, if you have boundaries and you feel like they're not being or you feel like they're constantly being crossed, say something. Say something, because you never know, or the other person may not know. The other person may have gotten away with, or may be super close to other people really quick and realize that, what they're doing isn't okay when it comes to other people. Like, everybody else that they interact with may either not care as much about those certain boundaries or are just used to that person constantly pushing past them. But if your boundaries are being crossed constantly, say something, because nobody else is going to know until you do. Another thing, you said new mama. So I'm assuming this baby is 6 months under. I would even go as far to say is 3 months under. I know sometimes it depends, but my biggest thing for this is, I'm trying to make sure I put this correctly. You said that they live an hour and a half away? Yes. So they want you to bring baby down. That is an hour and a half of baby being in a car seat. That is also an hour and a half of you being alone in the car with baby in the car seat. Now, yes, babies do love car rides, but not everybody loves car rides. But it's not... I think it's really rude on their part for them to expect you to drive 3 hours round trip with a newborn baby with almost no help when you also work full time as well. So I'm assuming baby is over the 6 to 8 week mark, because I really hope that you did not have to go back to work right after having that baby. And so to me, I think that it is very unfair that the mother-in-law, I'm just going to call her mother-in-law just because she's not your mom, is expecting you to drop everything anytime she wants to see the baby. Like, maybe try to set up a weekend. Like, I could understand, like, maybe both of you, like, driving 45 minutes, finding a halfway point, maybe trying to do a weekend thing. Like, if you guys can both do, like, a hotel or something like that, then, like, try to get on the same floor or next to each other, and that way, like, baby can be passed back and forth, but you're not still, like, super far away. So if, like, something happens, because we do know car rides can suck for babies, but we also do know that if a lot of the times if mom is, or if the mother-in-law is pushing boundaries on things like this, a lot of them seem to have an issue with pushing things on other sides, like, you know, oh, like, baby's breastfed, and, like, hey, it's time for, you know, baby to eat. It's like, oh, well, why can't you just use a bottle? Why can't I feed the baby? It's just because you want him to yourself. It's like, bitch, listen, give me my kid so I can feed it, or get the fuck out. That's a big thing, too. And if you don't start setting and keeping your boundaries now, it's just going to get worse later on. We know this, we've seen this, we've heard this. I think we all know somebody at some point that's what happens. All right, on to the next one. My husband is mad I sold his Xbox. Advice? I mean, what are the circumstances of you selling the Xbox? I need some advice. My husband has been nonstop playing his Xbox all night, after work, before work, literally every second of the day. He is not at work. He is on his Xbox. He doesn't help with the kids or the housework and refuses to even acknowledge me. So the other day when he was at work, I sold it to someone on Facebook, and now he is mad and threatening to leave if I don't replace it. He is mad that he is so mad that he won't even talk to me and has locked himself in our room. Was I really in the wrong for this? He is complaining he will lose all of his progress now, but he doesn't put any effort into us and it is just a game. Was I wrong? To an extent, yes. In the long run, I don't know. I understand, like, a hyperfixation, like, I do that sometimes where it's like, all I want to do is just work on this, or I just want to do this because I enjoy it, but eventually I get burned out. I think that happens for a lot of people with ADHD. Not saying he does, but it is a really shitty thing to have an escape, whether it be books or video games or, you know, like, other stuff, and for someone to take that from you and to sell it and get rid of it. Now, given, it sounds like he took it, like, way too far to an extent. Like, if you're not spending any time with them, like, or if you're not spending any time with your family because, like, an electronic is coming first, then there's an issue. There's a problem that needs to be addressed. Do I think selling it was the right first step? No, because, let me reread this real quick. I don't know how long this has been going on. You didn't specify. And you didn't even mention if you guys have sat down and talked about it. I wouldn't have sold it. I probably would have, like, hit it, or, like, the cords. Something that, you know, like, worst comes to worst, it's easily fixed or, like, easily replaced if damaged. So, like, take the HDMI cord and the power cord and fucking hide it somewhere. Fucking hide it in the trunk of your car or something like that. Enough so that way you guys can sit down and talk and you can make your feelings known. Because another step after that is if he still chooses to pretty much ignore you and the kids for the electronics, even after you making your feelings known and talking about it, especially if they say they're going to change, because words mean nothing, actions are everything. That's where things will kind of decide from there. But honestly, I would choose, I mean, I think eventually I could understand getting to the point of saying, you know what, fuck you, I'm done. Like, if you're not going to spend any time with us and all you're going to do is be on the fucking Xbox, like, I'd cut him off from sex, I'd cut him off from, you know, anything else that he likes, I'd just give him the bare minimum for food. Like, you don't spend any time with me, you don't put effort into me, why should I put effort into you? Like, the only thing you put effort into around here is the fucking Xbox, so it can make your food, it can have sex with you, it can do all this. Like, I'm done. But then at that point, you also need to look into leaving. Just saying. But I do believe that words and communication should come first before large actions like that. But I mean, I also understand the whole process of like gaming and being in a relationship with somebody who games, but also at the same time, there is a healthy medium that is not being seen or met in this situation. Do I think you were right for selling the Xbox? No. But I also understand it, if that makes sense. All right. My mother-in-law told my daughter she should not have a dinosaur-themed bedroom. Advice. This one is, okay, this first comment I make is going to be strictly visual, so if you do not watch this on YouTube or you're not watching it live on TikTok, you're not going to get it, but that's what I have to say about that. So my 5-year-old daughter wants a room makeover since she hasn't had one since she was a toddler, and the theme she wants is dinosaurs, which I do not see an issue with, to be honest. But when my mother-in-law came over to hang out, my daughter told her what she wanted as her new room, and she flipped. She said in front of my daughter that it was unacceptable because she was a girl and she needs to choose a girl theme. I am livid that I am livid. For people watching, I'm smiling about something, and I'll tell you why in a second here. Because she's a girl and she needs to choose a girly theme. I am livid that she said this because now my daughter thinks having a dino room is wrong. I am at a loss now. How do I approach my mother-in-law? Because honestly, I just want to explode right now. So my first thought process of like why I started smiling during that is put like tiaras or tutus on the dinosaur, and then it'd be like they're girly dinosaurs. It's a girly room. And also, dinosaurs are both girls and boys. Like, are you telling me that like just put dinosaurs up there, and if mother-in-law sits there and bitches about it, be like, well, they're girl dinosaurs. It's a girl room. They're girl dinosaurs. Like, what is she worried about? Oh no, my daughter has a dinosaur room. Now she's gonna be a lesbian. Who the fuck cares? She's a kid. I loved Jurassic Park when I was a kid. I loved all things boyish when I was a kid. And I caught a lot of shit for that from my grandmother as a kid. And you know what? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a single fuck as to why a kid wants something? Like, it doesn't matter. In like 3 years, they're probably gonna, in like probably like a year, they're gonna be like, you know what? I think I've outgrown the dinosaurs. Okay? Who the fuck cares? It's not like she's asking for, you know, a sex dungeon in her room. She's a kid. She's 5. Let her have the fucking dinosaur room. Because that's honestly ridiculous. To sit there and tell a kid, especially a 5-year-old, that they can't have something that they like and enjoy that isn't harmful to them just because of their gender. Who really gives a fuck here? Mother-in-law is toxic, and she can also catch these hands because, once again, these hands are rated E for everyone. I'm about to say that these hands are going to be rated M for mother-in-laws because that's literally what we seem to run into a lot of with this situation. Alright, next one. My sister removed me from her wedding party because I am pregnant. Am I overreacting? I reserve to make a comment on this. This may be long, so bear with me. Future me, it's not. It's not long at all. My sister asked me to be in her wedding a few months ago. We went on and tried dresses and got fitted for them. I was so excited she asked me since we haven't always gotten along. But things have been tons better lately. But I recently found out I was pregnant. Her wedding is in 6 months and she literally... Okay, this isn't going to make sense for a second because it says she literally me out. I think she means kicked me out. Because my dress won't fit me anymore and she doesn't want a pregnant person in her party. She wants a certain look. I am shattered and don't even know if I want to go now. Am I overreacting because of pregnancy hormones? I mean, possibly. It is quite possible that you are reacting mostly due to hormones because you're now pregnant and hormones suck. And also, friendly advice, they don't ever go away after pregnancy. Sometimes they get worse. Sorry, I shouldn't be smiling about that. It's not fair. I can understand it, and yes, that is kind of shitty. Like, oh, like, you can't be in my wedding party anymore because you're pregnant, and it does suck, and I think it is hurtful. But at the same time, I also know dress alterations can be expensive. And do you mind back there? She doesn't. She doesn't mind at all. Where? Okay. I don't know where she went. But, so I can understand from a certain point of view, to an extent, like, why she doesn't want you in the wedding party anymore. Because, again, like, dress alterations can be expensive, and dresses can also only be altered so much. And if she's already bought the dress, like, you never know. Like, I know I was a fairly, like, small pregnant person until I think I hit, like, my 25-week mark. And then it's like, we went on a little mini vacation to Comic-Con. Or, well, it was Wizard World, but I just call it Comic-Con because not everybody knows that Wizard World is it's no longer called Wizard World. I don't know what it's called now. But we went to Wizard World Chicago for a weekend. Came back, and, like, it's like, a week later, like, all of a sudden, it's like, you could definitely tell I was pregnant. Like, while I was there, it was probably like, is she just fat, or is she pregnant? Like, which one is it? Yeah, no, I was definitely pregnant. And that is also why I did not wear a costume or get any type of cosplay for Comic-Con, is because I literally had no idea what I was going to look like how big I was going to get. I didn't want to get anything and just be like, oh, great, well, I spent, like $200 on this and I can't fucking wear it because it doesn't fit. So I understand the thought process to a certain extent, but no, it's not really fair. I mean, I don't understand these brides that are like, my wedding party has to look a certain way, like, everyone has to look, like, similar. Like, that's the joys of the human race, bitch. Like, we all look different. We're all different shapes, sizes, colors, different textures. Like, come on. So, do I think you're overreacting because of hormones? To an extent. Is it still hurtful and still shitty on your sister's part? Yes. And I know that doesn't give you any answers, but it's okay to have hormones. It's okay to be upset. All right, on to the next one. Was I wrong for not letting my stepchild go with her aunt? Depends on what happens. So, my husband and I grounded our daughter, my stepdaughter, for some reasons I don't want to explain. That just sounds like you were in the wrong. Sorry. I deal with a lot of Facebook shit, and usually whenever somebody's like, we did this, but you don't get to know why, it's because it really wasn't as bad as you made it out to be, or there were other circumstances leading up that you just don't want to explain. Her aunt wanted her to be with her after work and told us she wanted to see the kids. I stopped by, and she tried to override me by trying to keep her there. I told her no, that she is grounded. She then tried to keep her from leaving the house. I told stepdaughter to get in the car. She then tried to stop her, but she was smart and ran the opposite direction. Her aunt has a big hand in raising her with their mom since she was a single parent who worked all of the time until I came into the picture. She seems like she can overstep me because of that reason. Should I have given in and kept her there, or was I right about standing my ground for once? This is not the first time she has overstepped me the last 3 years. Today, I wasn't going to let that happen. What rights do I have as a stepmom, and was I right about my decisions? So I've mentioned this before. As a stepmom, I think one of our main jobs, so to speak, is to support and enforce whatever the biological parent has put in place. If biological dad has grounded said daughter is said grounded. I don't give a fuck what what mama or what, like, not mama as in, like, the biological mom, but, like, grandma, like, the grandpa, aunts, uncles. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit who has done what. Yeah, if dad has said kid is grounded, kid's fucking grounded. Like, there's literally no other things beside that. It is your job as not only their spouse, but as stepmom to have that continuous help. If you were to be like, oh, well, okay, fine, like, you're the aunt and you're more biologically related to this kid than I am, so I guess what you say goes. No, that is not how the fuck that works. I'm sorry. That is not how the fuck that works. Dad is dad, and what he says goes. Like I've also mentioned before, you can disagree, but you never disagree with dad in front of the kids. After everything happens, after everything's said and done, take him off to the side, tell him your side. Be like, listen, I think you're a little bit too into this. You're a little bit too heated. So maybe take a step back, rethink about it, but I will support you and help you with this punishment however you see fit. And it sounds like that's what you're doing, because I can definitely understand having somebody that is constantly like, well, I've been in their lives longer than you, so what I say goes. No, bitch. What their father says goes, because you're not their father. End of story. Alright, next one. How can I get my family to understand that we need help? My dad has been sick of kidney failure for 3 years. We moved in with him 5 months ago to help him with transportation to and from dialysis and to take care of him. My 18-year-old brother also lives here. Excuse you, ma'am. Rude. I'm gonna take your claws. I'm not, but it's an empty threat, but she doesn't know that. She's dumb. No, I mean, and I don't mean that as in, like, she's just a dumb cat. She is actually dumb. Like, you look her in the eyes, and there is nothing. There is not a single thought behind there. The brains, the brain cells, they are social distancing. Dead ass. Sorry. My 18-year-old brother also lives here. So in total, it's me, my husband, my dad, my brother, and my son. We had to clean a lot and redo stuff when we first moved in because my brother had let it get so bad in the house. My dad became an amputee, so he can't do anything to help really. My brother does not help keep the house clean at all. He will do dishes every now and then, but they aren't clean. They are always dirty. He doesn't pick up after himself. He doesn't have a job or go to school. All he does is just sit at the house all day and do really nothing besides getting my dad food and drinks and taking his toilet bag out. Ugh. Sorry. My dad also does not keep his hygiene up. He hasn't washed his hair in years. I might throw up on stream. And he gets a bath from the nurse twice a week. We tell him he can bathe himself. He just needs to ask for help, but he never asks for help. We clean, cook dinner, take everyone to and from, but we still get told we're not taking care of no one and we're just freeloaders. Like I'm at my wit's end with living here. I'm tired of me and my husband having to pick up and clean up after everyone. The house was infested with roaches so bad because the house was so dirty, and 5 months later we are still trying to get rid of them. I'm not sure what to do anymore. I've talked with them so much, and yet it's like they don't listen. I'm also 5 months pregnant. First off, I never would have moved my family in there with roaches. Hail to the fucking no. Bleh. Sorry. Excuse my minor gross out, because that is just absolutely disgusting. Yeah, I would have maybe tried to move closer. I would not have moved in because that is... I would have moved in and I would have done what I can, but at the same time, you also need to be very careful. Because technically, that nurse that comes to your house at least twice a week to give your father a bath is also a mandated reporter. And if at any point... Technically, she should have already reported this. Because that man is living in filth. Dead ass. technically that also means your child is also living in filth, and CPS can also get involved. So personally, if it was me, I'd be moving the fuck out ASAP. ASAP, because honestly, you can get in a lot of trouble with CPS. You can get in a lot of trouble with whatever the department is that takes care of the elderly. You can get in a lot of trouble. Like, a lot. Even though you are doing your best and trying to clean and everything like this, your brother's gonna drag you down. And he's dragging dad down, and he's taking you and your family right the fuck with it. I would be looking for a new place ASAP. That would be my first start. My second start would be to, tell your brother, like, listen, if you want to live here with dad, that's fine, but you either need to clean up or I'm calling. You might have to wait a little while after that, because or you need to at least make sure that you are keeping proof that you have been trying to make things better, that you've been trying to do more, because it is, like, you get the wrong nurse in there, she's gonna call somebody. She's gonna report, and you're gonna get in trouble. Your brother's gonna get in trouble. Your dad's probably gonna get put in a home. Your kid might be taken away from you. You will be under investigation, because living in squalor like that, you can get in trouble like that. So that's my main point I want to get across first. Bless your heart for trying to do your best to help your dad out. I'm sorry that your brother isn't as helpful, but you did mention he's only 18 years old. And I know that's not an excuse. A lot of us do a lot more than that by the time we're 18 and even well into our, adult years. And yes, he needs to learn how to clean himself. And obviously if he wants to live there and be with his dad, he also needs to help out as well. But right now, I think your main priority needs to be you, because you're pregnant, and your child. And living in a roach-infested house, that's not it, sis. You need to move. Alright. Oh, I accidentally put something in the wrong folder. Ah, silly me. Alright. A kid in my neighborhood keeps causing issues. Advice: fight them. Fight that kid. Or make your kids fight the kid, because, technically that's child abuse. There's a kid in my neighborhood who is constantly causing issues with other kids. He threatened a kid with a knife. I'm just going to continue. He has kicked kids, hit them, stolen bikes, and every time his mom is approached about it, she comes back with, he has issues. He's seeing a therapist for ODD/ADHD. And I don't know what else. But if he has issues and you know about them, why are you letting him roam so far away from his own house? That right there. Why? That's what I don't understand. He comes to my house, which is half a mile from his own, and he's always starting something, and I'm getting fed up. He's 11 years old, and I get he should have freedom, but it sounds to me like he should not be out of the eye of his parents. No. I always worry when he comes around my kids. I wouldn't let that motherfucker in my house. I'd be like, you get the fuck home. Get away from my kids. You could start calling the cops, for one. Like, every time that kid comes down there, like, give him the benefit of the doubt. But then as soon as shit starts hitting the fan, call the fucking cops. Call him and be like, take this little motherfucker home, because I'm tired of him threatening my kids. I'm tired of him physically harming my kids. Like, get him the fuck out of here. And they will. And eventually, after so many calls, mom's gonna start getting put under investigation, because she's letting her kid go around and hurt the other neighbor kids and not watching him, even though she apparently knows he has issues. Again, CPS. And again, these hands are rated E for everyone. Fuck that kid. Sorry. No. Once again, your main priority is your kids. Every time he comes around, just keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on him. One, do not let him in the fuck into your house, because we don't need that there. And yeah, anytime he starts causing problems, call the police, let them know, make a report. Eventually, the police are going to get sick and tired of coming and seeing this fucking kid and being like, you know what, fuck this, we're calling CPS to do an investigation, because this is not okay anymore. That's literally all I have to say for that one, because, I mean, what else can you do? You can't let it keep happening. You can't let your kids be in danger like that. Your kids should, if your kids are behaved, your kids shouldn't be afraid to go outside and play because there's some shithead that lives half a mile away down here causing fucking problems. I'm trying to swipe, and apparently my hands just don't work today. Oh, this sounds like a good one to end on. I don't like how my boyfriend talked to me. Advice: fight him. That's just the title for today. These hands are rated E for everyone. Fight him. Last night I accidentally bumped my boyfriend's computer screen and he yelled, "Bro." I was like, "Wow, you don't have to yell at me." And then he said, "I didn't yell at you, but if you want me to yell at you, I can yell at you." Is this verbal abuse or a threat? I'm having a hard time dealing with him speaking to me like that. Is this the only time he's talked to you like that? Like, okay, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't judge. I've definitely been in that situation before where it's like the first time you're just like, whoa, that's really fucking weird. Like, why are you acting like that? And then it continues to get worse. Me, being the person I am now, if somebody talked to me like that, I'd be like, listen, you want to fucking yell at me? Fine, we'll have a fucking screaming match. Let's go into the goddamn parking lot so it'll be easier for the cops to find us. Because I tell you what, I am not taking this shit of you yelling at me like that. Like, that's not the fuck okay. It was a fucking accident. Chill the fuck out. On a more adult, separate note, after everything is cooled down, sit down, lightly explain your feelings about the situation. Like, even just be honest. Tell them the truth. Be like, listen, you fucking scared me talking to me like that. And I did not appreciate it. I do not like that. The other thing that you can do is, you know, if that doesn't go anywhere, leave. Especially if you don't have kids together. If you are not financially dependent on him, fucking leave. Because no one should be talked to like that, for one. It doesn't matter if it's about a computer desk or a computer monitor. It doesn't matter if it's about fucking you misplaced $20. Nobody should be talked to like that, and it's not okay. There are phone numbers. I think I'm going to look for them, and I will put them in the description below for here. So if you are ever in need of any type of help, please look for your local reach out. Please. I have been in abusive situations before, and this touches very close to home for me. So I'm going to ask everybody that if you know somebody who is in need of help, please help them. Please help reach out for them. I'm not saying you have to give them a place to live. I'm not telling you have to donate money to them. But just giving authorities a heads up or giving them the information themselves, that's a big step for a lot of people. I know when I first was having issues, I felt like I was just stuck forever. And until I had a coworker and friend reach out to me and be like, listen, I know something's going on. You don't have to tell me what it is, but here's a key to my apartment in case you ever need somewhere to go that's safe. And that was all I needed. I left later that night. But yeah, please reach out to somebody if you need help. There are women's shelters. There are other options. You do not have to stay in an abusive relationship. Yeah, I'm going to try and put down any information I can find. Probably a suicide prevention hotline, anything, but looking up the information for your state or your area is a good place to start if you are in need of help. And because I do not want to end on that really sad note, we're going to do one more. Alright, we went from sad to fucking just ignorant. My child's father refuses to add me on social media. Advice. Okay, I need to know if I'm overreacting or not. Probably. My child's father gets our child every other weekend. He has a shady past, and when he is with him, I get anxiety. I asked him to add me on social media just so I can keep tabs while he has her, and he refuses. At this point, I don't even want my child going over there because I am scared of who he has around, and I know he always posts to social media. I don't get why he won't add me for my peace of mind. Because it's none of your fucking business. I'm gonna flat out say that. It is none of your fucking business what he does when he has her, as long as baby is okay, as long as baby comes back safe and is not harmed. If you take him to court for this and being like, I want him to add me on social media, the judge is going to tell you to get the fuck out, for one. Because it's none of your fucking business. If you are that stressed, call for a fucking welfare check. Call the police, be like, listen, my kid is over with her dad. I know he has done a lot of shady things in the past. He will not answer me. I can't see what's going on. Will you please go over and just do a welfare check and let me know that my child is okay? Like, that's it. Because honestly, having him on social media isn't going to do fucking anything. Like, it really won't. Because all that's going to happen is he'll add you on social media, but he can make another social media and then just not post on that one. Or he can just not post when he has her. Which, that's just going to make you more paranoid, and all you're going to do is spend your time on your phone refreshing his feed to see if he's posted anything. It does not... Social media is not where you need to keep tabs. If he has this much of an issue, you guys need to go to court, and you need to ask for visitations that are... I can't even think of the word right now. That a third party has to watch him. Because, honestly, social media, that's not it. He does not have to add you on social media at all. You guys are not together. It's honestly none of your fucking business what he has on his social media. Because using your child as an excuse to get on and, like, stalk him, it's not okay. If your daughter is not coming back harmed, or, you know, as long as he's taking care of daughter while daughter is there, that is all that matters. What he does in his spare time when he does not have your guys' kid is none of your fucking business. And honestly, I can see through this bullshit post because this isn't it. This is not it. You don't need to know. You don't need to have your ex on social media just so you can keep an eye on him. That's literally what you're saying. Oh, well, I'm worried about what he's doing when he's got my kid. If your kid's coming back fine and there is no obvious, because trust me, you're gonna know if something's going on while your kid is there. You're gonna know because your kid will more than likely tell you. But yeah, you go through a court, get visitations be watched, or you can put stuff, if it's a drug situation like you're worried about, have it put in your parental agreement that he has to pass a drug test before he sees her. That's a thought. There are plenty of people that do that. I know court can get expensive, but it's better to put the money in, have something in place so that way you know your rights. And also I would make sure that you put in police escorts are enforced, so that way if like something happens and later on he gets like pissy about it and he's just like, oh, I'm tired of you doing this, so I'm keeping daughter for an extra X amount of hours. It'd be like, no, she's supposed to be back here by 6. She needs to be back here by 6, not 6:30, not 9 o'clock. If you do not, I will be over there with a police escort at your house to get daughter. Yeah, it's having that in writing from a judge can really help you out in the long run and give you more peace of mind. But the whole social media thing, it's not worth it. It's not going to be worth your time because honestly, like, that's kind of like the dumbest fucking excuse ever. And that's going to be the end of that one before I go into a larger rant. Oh. Thank you to everyone for listening today. I hope you all enjoyed the podcast. If you know somebody who likes my content, feel free to send me their way in a share. If you would like to send me a message with your own story, rant, question, unpopular opinion, or if you want me to tell others how you fucked up today, or any day, send me a message via any of my social medias found in the description below. Just look for my cute little avatar you see on whatever app you're listening or watching on. Please give a rating if you enjoyed what you heard today. I hear that they help out tremendously. And as always, I will catch y'all next time. Bye! That'll be enough. That'll be all for me on the Tiki Talks and / this YouTube video. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. I probably will not be going live again today, so the next time you guys see me, I'll actually be in a different outfit. I will probably be going live this time again tomorrow-ish. And yeah, so I will see you guys next time. And again, just a reminder, especially if you're watching this via YouTube afterwards, here over the next couple weeks, you're probably going to see me in the same outfit, YouTube video after YouTube video, because I'm going to have to pre-record a bunch of these to take me up for those 10 days. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.